How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? This is William, January 14th, 2025. How y'all doing? So I've been checking a few things, y'all. Let me take these off real quick. So I've been doing a research on what the judge and why the judge had got Kelly Williams to stop in his tracks. So I done figured out one of them, y'all. I done figured out one of them. The one of them that I figured out is this one right here. All right. I went on search to search the laws of North Carolina or how long you had to be in the state before you become a resident of the state. I found out. So the state of North Carolina, y'all can go look this up too. So now I understand why that judge said that to Kelly Williams now, y'all. When that judge told Kelly Williams to stop right there, Mr. Wall, how long you been here? When did your kids start to school here? And I said September. I went and got the papers, y'all. I got up on this. You know what I'm saying? I got the paper right here. My kids, I enrolled them September 9th, 2024. Got the paper right there. September 9th, 2024. So, from Florida, right? So, listen. So now, I'm putting it all together. So, I went online to search the laws of North Carolina. So, you ain't a permanent resident, you ain't a resident of North Carolina. You had to be here at least 12 months. 12 months to be a resident of the state of North Carolina now. See, I didn't know this. So when that judge said, I said, I wonder why that judge say that. You know, stop Kelly Williams talking about having jurisdiction over my kids, right? So now I'm putting it together. I might not put it all together, but I'm putting enough together to understand why that judge told Kelly Williams to back up, because you won't gonna touch that. Based on the fact that I just enrolled my kids and they just started going to school here in September of 2024. So that makes me be here 4 months. I'm not even a resident here in the state of North Carolina. 4 months. I got to be at least here 12 months. Now, y'all don't believe me? Go look at the law. How long do you have to be in the resident of the state of North Carolina to be a resident of the state of North Carolina? 12 is the month. And then, somebody trying to call me. The law says it's got to be a consecutive 12 months. Now, not 12 months. Consecutive. So I had to live here a consecutive 12 months to be a resident of the state of North Carolina. Now, I'm a resident of Florida, though, and my children. The residents of Florida, though, because we stayed there over a year. You know what I'm saying? Consecutive months. So, in North Carolina, Richmond County, 4 months. 4 months. And they ain't even been consecutive. That's right, they ain't even been consecutive. My permanent residence still in Florida. You know what I'm saying? So, I understand I'm going to say a little bit, y'all. I don't understand a whole lot, but I understand a little bit as far as the law said that states that I guess DSS and look into that my kids are not, they ain't permanent resident in North Carolina yet, because they ain't been here a consecutive 12 months yet. So I understand why the judge said they ain't taking jurisdiction, that Richmond County is not taking jurisdiction of my kids here because they not been here a consecutive 12 months. So, hey, that's a little bit I know. And I'm going to get off of that because and then the other thing, y'all, and this is the day meant a lot to me. I'm going to tell you why. Even though the judge just ain't gave me no time with my kids or whatever, after I haven't seen them for almost a month, okay. But what she did do, she looked at Kelly Williams and told him he was a conflict. After meeting him and my lawyer back in Chambers, she came back out there and said, you can finish this up right here. Because there's no cause for you to be in a conflict right now with this continued non-secure hearing, which that's what it was. But she said that's it. You won't proceed with no case in this case matter. Got to be another lawyer for DSS that's gonna have to proceed with the case. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. Now that's where that judge applied the law. Because Kelly Williams was up there trying to be like, well, Your Honor, I only handle a couple of DW cases. DW, no, you ain't. Kelly might have got that confused now. It might have been one of them, DWI, but it's been driver license revoked, assault on police, all that crazy stuff back then, you know, because that's when I was getting in trouble back then. And then Kelly Williams been my lawyer, my mama's lawyer, my children's lawyer. So that's what I'm saying. You can't be conflict one way, but not be conflict another way. He told the judge, my daughter told him today, was like, well, you said you couldn't be my lawyer because you a conflict with my daddy. So you're going to be a conflict on that level, but then get in the courtroom and try to minimize it that you're in a conflict. That's like what George Davis did, y'all. Now, out of all lawyers in Richmond County, George Davis has been the one lawyer that's been my lawyer about on everything. He done been my lawyer on an appeal case. He done been my lawyer a jury trial. You know, Joseph Davis. And then he gonna get up there and sell out on me up there and not be a conflict. And that Judge Warren McSweeney gonna say he ain't a conflict. See, that's what I be talking about, y'all. Watch out for them lawyers that get up there and do that junk. If they are a conflict with you one way, they're a conflict with you all the way around. Don't believe that junk. Don't go. Now, that judge saw that today. That judge looked at Kelly Williams and said, you in conflict. The same thing Warren McSweeney is supposed to have done. Oh, yeah. And I know Warren may seen you a Superior Court judge now, but you still ain't getting away from God, buddy. You only going up to come down. Believe that. And I got insight on you, buddy. I got insight. You're going up to be torn down. That's why you're going up. Because when you violated me, when you allowed Joseph David III to continue going against me as a child support attorney, y'all know he's a child support attorney, know he's in conflict with me, and get out there and that doggone judge, and it was bad enough the judge was biased. So if you're going to be fair, look, Your Honor, if you're going to be fair, let's do this case right. You know what I'm saying? But see, all these lawyers, judges, they know they conflict with me, but they only want to do it on one side. Oh, I'm not a conflict to hurt them, but I'm a conflict to do them good. No, that ain't how that works. If you're a conflict to me all the way around. And I'm glad, and that's one thing I'm happy about what that judge saw today, is she saw two things in Kelly Williams. She saw one, that he's a conflict, and then two, when Kelly Williams said, did your client agree that we got jurisdiction over his kid? And I was like, what? Judge said, hold up, I didn't even have to say nothing, y'all. Judge stopped him. Say, Mr. Wynn, we ain't even gonna go there. Mr. Wall, how long you been in North Carolina? I said, I just brought my kids here September 24th, and they just started school here in Richmond County, Rockham Middle. I've been in Florida. And then she looked at Kelly Williams, she said, oh no. She said, we just not even gonna touch that. That's exactly what the judge said. And they ain't said no more. Say about between now and next in the court date, my lawyer, whoever the DSS attorney gonna be, gonna get that together. Cause now I've realized they don't have jurisdiction because I ain't even been here consecutive 12 months in North Carolina yet. And don't intend on being here a consecutive 12 months. I most certainly don't. Why? I'm a resident of Florida and I'm gonna stay a resident of Florida. But look, what I told y'all, see, that's the wickedness of the Sheriff Department. They know, see, the thing is, they know I'm in Florida. See, they know this. They know everywhere I go. They know when I was in Winston-Salem. They know everywhere I go, like they got a tracker on me or something. You know what I'm saying, y'all? They know everywhere I go. But then you gonna serve me paper. I'm up there in that courtroom for my kids. I'm not up there for nothing else. So how you gonna serve me paper that don't got nothing to do with my kids in this courtroom? Because you know me. I don't care how you know me. Do you know I'm not a resident of the state of North Carolina? Did you know that? Because if you had to know that, you know you don't serve me no paper from nowhere. I ain't broke no laws. So if I break a law, it's something different. But I ain't broke no law. You ain't got no business serving me no civil papers because you know me. Well, then come to Florida and serve them to me then. See, that's what I'm saying. That's the wickedness, y'all, with that Sheriff Department up there. I don't mind going in on them neither because I'm finna go through all my stuff. Ever since Gully's been in office, before Gully was in office, because Gully was still making no decision before he became the sheriff of Richmond County. And I think all of y'all know that. That Clemens ain't did nothing up there. And I believe all y'all know that too. What Clemens did up there? No, Gully did that jump. Clemens ain't did nothing up there. Sure no didn't. Clemens ain't did nothing up there. He was just a black face. That Gully is the one that did everything. And he's still doing everything. That's what we gonna put a stop to. What we need, let me ask y'all something. This might not happen to some of y'all yet, but it's gonna happen. It probably already happened to a lot of you. You see how wicked, and I know y'all had your own moments with the sheriffs up there, you know what I'm saying? Y'all remember when we did that, walking that sheriff? We did that communion, when they jumped on that kid at the high school, the steam, and they called me up there, hey Mr. Walker, can you come up here? Because we got some stuff going on here, and we know that everybody hear you. Came right up there. We did a walk around that courthouse and everything. See, that John Burnett. With that John Burnett, See, that's what I'm talking. That's what we about to do with that doggone sheriff up there, Gullich. Get his out of there. You know what I'm saying? Because we need a sheriff that protects the rights of citizens of Richmond County. And we don't have that sheriff here that does that. But he'll put a charge on you, he'll do illegal stuff to you, but he won't do what's right. So what's wrong with that? What's the difference in that sheriff department? You ain't come here and serve me papers. That's why I know when I put my kids missing, that sheriff department knew what the deal was. But did they come to my house and tell me, my resident there in North Carolina, did they come tell me, look, Mr. Wall, don't worry about your kid being missing. DSS got your kids in custody. Here's the paper that shows that you had to be in court whenever, 7 days or however many days it's supposed to be. They ain't do that. That's doing right. But that's too much like right, ain't it? So catch me in the, we just gonna sit back, wait till he come to court, and then we're gonna serve him these paper, plus we're gonna serve him this paper. See, that's that law. You heard from my mouth, and y'all can go online and look at it. In order to be a permanent resident of the state of North Carolina, have to be consecutive 12 months. Y'all understand what I just said? Consecutive now. That means that you got to be here month after month after month. You can't never leave to go back to your originating state because you're gonna break it's consecutive 12-month period. So if you go back, like when every time I go back to Florida, that breaks that 12 month because I'm not here consecutive. So I can come here I don't want to be here now. I ain't even been here 4 months, but just because my kids has been here, going to school here, they've been in school here 4 months. So that's not a consecutive 12 months. So therefore, that's what I understand with the judge told Kelly Williams, you got to back up. These kids just came from Florida, so we ain't got no jurisdiction here. You know what I'm saying? We got a case, but we ain't got no jurisdiction. I'm putting it together. Y'all know me, but I come and that's why I got this cell phone, everything online. You know what I'm saying? You can go find out when you hear stuff, you can just go find out what the deal is. And it'll tell you right there. It'll tell you right there on that phone. So y'all go on your phone and go in there and ask the question. How long you got to be in the state of North Carolina before you're a resident? 12 consecutive months. So let's get back on the top of that hand. I was happy and disappointed at the same time in court today. And I was happy that the judge struck Kelly Williams down and showed that he's a conflict to me. I wish that judge would have did that same thing with Joseph David III. You know what I'm saying? So I wish he would have did that then, but that judge was so prejudiced against me. What did he care about Joseph David getting out there going against me as a child support worker? I'll tell you what I guarantee. I guarantee he won't do that again. I guarantee you that. After bumping up against me, he won't do that again. Because I won't get through with him till I have his job. God gonna sit there and have me paying child support for through the pandemic because my bank account had this so much money in it. Gonna have me paying child support and I told y'all this in my earlier video. 2023, he gonna go back to before the pandemic, y'all, and say, well, I had this much money in my account. That old rotten, grimy David McGuire, he playing both sides of the field. He got my bank record only because I was divorcing Michelle, so equity distribution. But then he take that, which I know that was against the law some kind of way, give that to doggone Joseph David. Then Joseph David gonna use it. Well, he had this amount of money in his bank before the pandemic. Now this is after the pandemic in 2023. So we're gonna just make him pay child support based on what he had during the pandemic, before the pandemic. And that's what Joseph David did. In a nutshell, that's what he did. But he didn't go back and say, well, you know what? Mr. Wall had his kid for 2 years after his wife, abandoned him and her kids. He didn't go do all that with the 2 years I had him. See, he didn't do that. But now you want to come in and say, well, we're going to backdate this. Here's David McGuire. We're going to backdate this. We're going to backdate that. We're going to make him pay child support. And got me crazily. I'm not paying, I ain't paying child support based on what I was working when I went in front of that judge. And now that's how it's supposed to be, right? How a judge going to make you pay child support based on what you had in your bank account before the pandemic? How you going to do that? See, that showed the president. Now, there been a real judge following the law. He said, you know what? We can't use his bank statement, make him pay no child support. Now, unless he got a current bank statement that says he got this kind of money. But wait, the pandemic, that's 3 years ago. You gonna sit there and have him pay child support based on 3 years ago what he had in his account, and don't have that now? Now that's Joseph David doing, y'all. That's his doing. And I had my own kids for 2 years. So how's I'm paying child support? You didn't make her pay me child support for 2 years. See, that's what I'm talking about, y'all. I had my kid for 2 years. 2 years, 3 of them, all of them. My daughter and my 2 little boys. Had them 3. My little boy didn't even know his mama. She left him, he was about 4 months old. When I finally turned the kids over to her, he didn't even know who she was. My little baby boy now did not know who his mama was. But then Jordan Warren McSwaney gonna order me to pay child support based on what I had in my bank account through the before the pandemic. But then not gonna order her to pay me child support for the 2 years I had them. When that Sophia Cross stripped me of my rights in March of 2019. Boy, them dates, all y'all remember them dates? Because it's coming back. It's coming back. I'm here to stand, but like when I say when the dust clear, who God gonna have in the middle? I'm gonna stand right here on solid ground while God tear every one of you down. We didn't ever heard of DSA. Then DSA gonna say up the other day said, I wasn't with that case with you and your ex-wife when that happened out there. Well, you know what? I ain't said you was, but the DSS was behind it all. I know who running stuff up there, that DSS building. I mean, I know who the high in the charge up there. I know. You think I don't know that? But then yet they said they was involved with the case of my daughter. When my daughter's son got beat up by her boyfriend and got arrested, they closed. My daughter looked at them and said, y'all closed that case just like that. 2.5 seconds. But now here you got children that made up a lie. My son that made up a lie with no bruises. But you're gonna have more weight to that than you got to a child actually getting beat up. Y'all, come on, tell me what's going on here. You're gonna have more weight to a child actually get beat up and beat up all in his face, neck, and all. That's how my grandson was looking. Now tell me what a child like that gonna depend on somebody to take care of them and come through their rescue. Why they ain't came to his rescue? Yeah, they locked him up. He was right back out of jail. Then they dismissed the charges against him. And look, went to the hospital. And then was transferred to Chapel Hill. That's how bad this was. So y'all take it from there. And if any of y'all know my daughter, y'all know DSS was behind that junk. So tell me how much did they protect my grandson? That goes to show you. And then look at my situation. How much did they really protecting my kids or is they hurting my kids? Which one y'all think they doing? Even my own child came along and said, Daddy, I'm sorry. Then got up there and got in front of the judge, and said, this is why I did this. I lied because I wanted to get away from my daddy. He took me off the basketball team. You know what I'm saying? But then now my son, he's seeing it now. So now he's seeing it. So he understand now. I mean, he getting it. So I said, I told him today in court. I said, son, got this stuff, hey, put it together. Because we got to go through this here now. Because see what you did now, they taking advantage of what he did in the beginning. Taking full advantage of what he did in the beginning. And the judge siding with the DSS because DSS made the report. So it's not likely that the judge going to be like, well, ain't no abuse, this, that. Judge know it ain't no abuse. Everybody in that courtroom today, y'all know it ain't no abuse. We was all outside, everybody in that courtroom talking about that. Judge should have dismissed that. Everybody know that heard my son, both my sons get up there and me. Mind y'all, I ain't seen my son damn one in a month. So if you orchestrate a lie, how you gonna orchestrate when the DSS got your kids, keeping away from your kid, letting them know that you can't call and say certain things to your daddy. So it ain't no prepared orchestration lie. It's just what happened. You know what I'm saying? So when I got up there in court today, was the first day I saw them. And my son got up there and said exactly what happened. But the judge didn't accept it that way. The judge took it, let's protect this DSS because they still got some grimy. See, you know what? DSS still got some grimy stuff that they done that they supposed to have abided by the law, and they didn't. And see, that's what I'm giving my lawyer to address. Wait a minute. Let's address this 7 days that they was under the custody of DSS, only 7 days. So now since they got pending service against me and ain't certain sheriff department, the wicked sheriff department, the members of the sheriff department ain't served me, So I'm kind of guessing, y'all. So that's why they kept my kids in custody. Because they like, ain't nobody to take them to. We can't serve the daddy, which they know they can. See what I'm saying? That's why I want to say, don't come on my yard. Don't come on my premises. You know what I'm saying? Because every time you do, I'm going to put you out there. You know, don't come nowhere around me. Because y'all a lot of them jokers at that sheriff department, some sick people. And they going to be sick. Messing with me, they going to be sick. But God is not going to look upon them favorably and doing what they're doing to me. They're not. You know what? One thing I understand in the Lord, y'all watch this here. I'm going to tell y'all something real good. Yeah, what you doing to me is going aboard. But then what God come back and say? But it was better for you drown in the depths of the sea, hung by your neck, than to touch and hair on one of my kids. Ain't that what he said? So, they hurt me, and sometimes I cry, sometimes I'm upset. But guess who's going to have the last say, though? And guess who name going to pop back at them when it come down to it? My name. Because God, when it does clear, as long as I be faithful and just and hang in there and not let these people turn me away from the only Savior I got, and then it's going to come, then his anger going to be against them ones that hurt me and my children falsely. Because that's exactly what's going down. See, that's what I hold on to. I hold on to the only thing that I can hold on to. And that's God. I can't hold on to these wicked people out here hurting me deliberately. How you gonna hold on to somebody like that deliberately? The devil hold on to the devil. Sure, I want to hold on to God with all my might. You know what I'm saying? Because God's the only spirit of being that looks out and bring these people to their knees. Bring them to their knees. Look at me. How many parents gonna sit there and go through this here with their kid and then be like the way I am? Come on, y'all. Come on, bring it to me. How many parents gonna be like that? Even though the judge didn't rule in my favor today to dismiss that case and put my kids back in my home, I still ain't hurt by it. You know why I ain't hurt by it? Because I know God got it. I ain't gonna be hurt by none of these wicked, evil people that like that sheriff come up to me in the courtroom, give me them all on paper, and one of them was for something else. They ain't had nothing to do with me. That they ain't even responsible. See, the whole thing here, y'all, they wasn't even responsible for even giving me that paper. You know, unless I'm a resident of Richmond County. If I'm a resident of Richmond County, then okay, they doing their job. But they know, and I'm not a resident of Richmond County, and I don't intend on being a resident of Richmond County anymore when I get through with this stuff with my children here. You know what I'm saying? So you can't come out because you know me. A lot of them sheriff's officers up there know me. But that don't make, because you know me, that don't make you the law. Because you see me, you gonna throw a paper on me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no criminal charges around here. I ain't broke no law for you to come up to me and serve me with anything. I'm not no criminal. But see, I know, then he gonna come out in his face, right? You know, my ex-wife was up there with me. He gonna come out his face, not that ex-wife, the first one. Let me just clear this up. The first wife. Let me put that, the first wife was up there with me. I say ex-wife, y'all probably know who I'm talking about, but nah, I ain't gonna put them two women together. Let's go to the first wife was up there when that sheriff came up to me and did that jump. I said, how you gonna serve me with something? This ain't got nothing to do with my kid. Oh, well, I know you, so I'm just serving you to you. That's what the sheriff gonna say to me. I know you, I'm just serving to you, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing to do with you, with this, that, and that. Well, you right. You ain't got nothing to do with it. So why you serving to me then? Paper that you ain't got nothing to do with then. Because the head done told you serving to me, or because the second in command told you, hey, no wall gonna be at the courtroom today, y'all. Go ahead and get these papers and serve them. So, you know what, y'all? If you can do that and do what's bad, then why you couldn't do what's good? Come to my doggone house and say, look, here's your kid. We got your kid. Ain't nobody confirmed nothing to me about my kids until my son snuck and got on somebody's phone after 16 days, getting out there, hell hole up there day mark, and finally snuck somebody's phone and called me to let me know. I had no idea, y'all, where they was, where they at, but then come find out they up there in a doggone day mark for 2 weeks. Locked up in a room like they some kind of mentally ill or something. See, that's what I'm talking about. And see, and I'm telling you, this is why I discredit the judge, because I want to get it all out there to let you know what my kids done been through. So now you think it's better for DSS still control my kid? Why? And I don't have no say so because you feel like the DSS is telling me the truth. Well, yeah, I blame my child. My child started that, so I ain't putting that blame on nobody. But my child had learned from that, learned this lesson. That, hey, I didn't realize what I was trying to get away from, that I was gonna be like this and it was gonna be like that. So my son realized that. So now he coming clean with everything. But the judge don't want to receive it like that. The judge gonna receive only what DSS is saying. That's all the judge receives, what DSS is saying. So and that's a lie. That's all a lie. So the judge is holding a lie from the DSS, and by holding that lie, it keeps them protected from the other junk they done. But I'm still unraveling that junk. I'm unraveling stuff with wireless. So I'm unraveling all that junk. You know what I'm saying? I'm unraveling everything and going public with it, and it's going to the District Commission Center, and any lawyer just messed up in it, because you know what? That was wrong. That was wrong, all the way wrong. See, because everybody around here, that judicial system up there, they play against me, but don't play but don't do the law. You want to play against me? Then play the law too. Play the law like the law applies to the case. That's all. You know what, y'all? And that's all I do up there. I got to come back here and read all this stuff and this literature stuff about this and that, and then they breaking the laws all kind of ways. I mean, I know y'all hear my video. Y'all know some of y'all have been involved with this and ain't been doing the way I'm being done. Y'all, some of y'all have been involved, ain't been done nowhere near I've been done. So why they doing to me? See, they want to break up a good home. But the kids that actually need that help, guess what they doing? They turning their blinds out of that, ain't they? The DSS, y'all. Turn their blind eye to our children out here in these streets that really need their help. They turn the blinds out. They want to get kids that's in a happy and a safe home and want to rip them out the home. That's what the devil want to do. Rip them out the home. And that's why they got this DSS doing that junk. Let's rip these good kids that's well being taken care of. Let's rip them out the home. But them kids already out there bad and this and that. Let's leave them out there. We're just going to charge them when they get 16. We're going to charge them like adults. Y'all better watch. Be careful about that, because it's coming. You heard me? Charging your child like an adult. And if your child 14 now, depending on the crime, they'll charge them now as an adult. So be careful about that, y'all. Now, when we was coming to get grown, we won't grown till we were 18. Get charged like an adult. But now the law done dropped it to 16 all over the country. Well, North Carolina anyway. I ain't gonna say all over the country. I know North Carolina, they done dropped the law from 18, hear me y'all, from 18 to 16 now for your child. So now you gotta buckle down. Look, son, look, daughter, you can't be doing this, can't be doing that. I don't want you, see, that's the thing I want my kids to learn. That's why I'm glad that on one part they're getting this right here at their age, because my boy got 2 more years. And I don't want him to think that he can go out there and do stuff, because now that same system that done took you from me, it's going to be that same system going to burn your butt up in that courtroom. The same system. So, in essence, and my last thing, y'all, Sheriff Department can serve me to hurt me, but can't serve me to help me, to let me know where my kids was at after I reported them missing. See what I'm saying? Y'all understand that there. And look here, let's do it this way. Gullich, out of there. That's my topic all the way to the end. Gullich, out of there. Gullich and his followers out of the Sheriff Department, period. Out of there. Let me say it again. Mark Gullich, out of there. And his constituents that follow him, out of there. Get them out of there. They sit around here driving these brand new doggone $300,000-$400,000 trucks, drive them home like they trucks. You know what I'm saying? And then the our taxpayer money paying for that junk. Y'all better, when y'all see them sheriff cars running around here, parked in their yard, and y'all see these nice, pretty Suburban parked up in their yard, think about that when you vote for the next sheriff. Because they got plenty of room up there around that doggone courthouse and around that doggone where they park them sheriff's cars at up there. Plenty of room to park all them cars there and them trucks. That's wasteful money for one. Wasteful. For all the officers running around here in a new truck like it's theirs. That's wasteful. That's wasteful money to the taxpayers of Richmond County. It's wasteful money, y'all. They all up in the school driving the trucks and cars all up to the school. They ain't y'all personal car, y'all personal truck to be all at the school picking up your children. Go home, go take your hour break and then go get your own car and go get your child from school. I remember when my son was going to Washington Street School, I stayed behind the police cars up going the Suburbans and the doggone car. I'm looking like, dog. They standing in line, they sitting in line just like me, picking up their kids in a patrol car, picking up their kids in a Suburban. And I'm like, that ain't right. Do y'all think that's right? That ain't right. So let's put a stop to it. Let's put a stop to all this nonsense so we can get some real protection around here and some real people that don't be biased when they officers go out there to serve people. You hear me, y'all? Let's get it. Let's get it. Because we're going to do this here. And when I come back to y'all, I'm going on back to my stuff. I'm finna put it down. All the stuff I got about all of them up there, I'm finna put it down. And I got it. But see, I leave and get away from them. But see, they come back at me because they trying to get me, but not knowing that what stuff I got against them. You know what I'm saying? You know, I done met, I ain't gonna go there. I ain't gonna put that out there. When I put it out there, y'all gonna get this. So let me get back with you. See y'all.